we've already gone over this yesterday, but we're going to practice again. We're going to go through it a little bit slower. So grab your graphing calculator. Please do second plus 712. And I'd like you to each try it on your own. If you do get lost along the way, and your partner happens to be still on track and understanding how to plug things in, then just stop and look at your partner's calculator. Really, the idea is how can we analyze the answer, not can you plug something into the calculator. Okay, so after you've cleared the RAM, once again, it's second plus 712. Go up to y equals. Misconceptions I saw yesterday, please make sure there's no talking so people can hear. Misconceptions is this is a negative 1.4. So negative is going to be found below the 3, a negative 1.4. And now we need to find the absolute value. So to do that, please find the math symbol on the left-hand side and hit it one time. Then use this arrow here and scroll across one time so that ABS, which represents absolute value, is there, and press enter. Now type in x, subtract 2.5, and end parentheses. And then we're going to go plus 3.5. When you're done, you're going to hit the word graph. When you're done, this equation is going to be found in your notes. Remember, the key here isn't can you plug this in, it's can you analyze this graph, okay? So in this particular problem, example 18, they wanted us to use this as a real-life problem to analyze the domain and the range, and then they want us to actually interpret it in terms of the context of this problem. So the domain is how far does this problem go to the left and to the right. This represents the width of the tent. So it starts at 0, and how far does it go to the right? I want to find this exact point. If you're unfamiliar with that, you're going to hit the blue key, which is second, one time. Go up and find trace up top and hit it one time. And go and find the word 0. Another word for 0 is the x-intercept. Press enter one time. Now use these arrows on the right and continue to press the arrow to the right until you're just slightly above the x-axis, somewhere slightly above the x-axis, and press enter one time. Now it says right bound, it's giving instructions. Use the arrow to the right and go below the x-axis, below the x-axis. Press enter one time. And now the directions say to guess, so use the arrow to go back to the left. Try to go over the top of the x-axis and press enter. How many of you are able to get that answer? Hands up high. We are going to practice with another problem coming up. So, what does this tell us? It tells us that the width of this tent runs from 0 to 5. So to review this problem, the domain is between 0 and 5. And it's from 0 to 5. I should not use the word between. We include 0, we include 5. What does this mean? In words, you'd want to write the width of the tent is 5 feet. All right, if you did not catch that one, we're going to do the height of the tent, which is the range. In the word problem, it states this is the ground. We want to know the height. So here's the ground is 0. We want to know how high is this. This is considered to be the maximum. Again, hit the blue key. Go to the top and find trace. Go down to maximum and press enter one time. Just like last time, we're going to go up to the very top point and we're going to follow the directions. Go left of the highest point and press enter. Follow the directions using the arrows. Go to the right of the highest point and press enter. And now guess where you believe the highest point is and press enter. So the height is the y value. The height is 3.5. 3.5. Please try that with your partner right now as I write this down. Go ahead. So the height of the tent is 3.5 feet. Okay, please go to example 19. We're going to practice it together. Please go to example 19 in your notes and read it to yourself. I believe it's on the next page. T is in terms of weeks, and S is in terms of thousands. Keep that in mind. They're going to try to trick you on problems like this. T is in terms of weeks, it's time in terms of weeks, and S is sales in terms of thousands. Graph the function on a graphing calculator. What is the maximum number sold in 1 week? Okay, so we want to know what is the maximum. All right, now do you have, for your problem, do you have this equation? I gotta find it here. I just went right past it. Sorry about that. This is the equation. So let's do second plus 712 and clear the RAM. If you're confused what I'm saying, hit the blue key once, hit the plus sign second, and hit 712. Jose's gonna walk around right now and help with calculators. So stop, Jose, if you have any trouble. Okay, go up to y equals. Go up to y equals. When you type in -2, don't use the subtraction sign. Use the key below the 3. -2. They're not. You're going to keep walking or leave. Okay. Now we're going to go absolute value. Hit the math button and go to NUM for number. Absolute value is number 1. Press enter. Just so I know where we are, can you raise your hand if you're to this point right now? Help your partner if they're not there. If you are there, type in x subtract 20. Then after the parentheses, do plus 40. And now in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the button for graph. Hit graph next. How many of you have something like this? Okay, we didn't do anything wrong, but the dimensions of where we can see the graph are not correct. We need to scoot this graph further to the right and further up and further to the right. There's a couple ways to do that. Please hit Windows. We need to go further to the right, so our x's need to go further to the right. So go x maximums, and instead of stopping at 10, let's try 25. We also need to increase our y values. So instead of stopping at 10, let's try 50. I'm just guessing some numbers. We may need to go back and adjust that. Okay? Now hit the button that says graph. Our whole goal is we don't have to see the entire absolute value function. We need to see the maximum. Can we see the maximum right now? For those that may feel a little lost, just hold on. I'm going to hit Windows. I change x maximum to 25 by guessing, and y maximum to 50. Okay, how do we find this point? How do we find it? Okay, we're going to hit the blue key. Hit the blue key. And hit trace. Blue key and trace. And we're going to go down to number 4. So go down to maximum. Once you're at maximum, you're going to hit enter 1 time. Again, I hit blue key, trace, scroll down to maximum, and hit enter 1 time. This gives us directions. We need to go left of the highest point. Use your arrows here and go to the right until you get really close to the top, but you're still to the left of the highest point. Then press enter 1 time. Now the directions say go right of the highest point. So use the arrows, go up and over at the top, somewhere to the right of the highest point. Press enter once, and back to the highest point. Press enter. Jose, can you walk around? Tell me how many people are at this point. Go. Now the question is, what is the maximum? So we're looking at what is the highest. Talk to your partner. Which number represents your maximum value? Only one of these represents maximum. Which one is it? Go grab one. X is the number of weeks. It's like the T in your problem. And S represents like your Y. It is your sales in thousands. So although this answer is 40, when you take 40 times 1,000, or you do it in your mind, the correct answer is 40,000 sales. 40,000 sales is your correct answer. Because up here we circled 1,000.
Did you get the 40 and Y?
Yes. Now, if you could just quiet down for 1 second as you're getting help, a little bit quieter. If I said to you, in which week did it hit a maximum of 40,000? In which week? What would have been your answer? It was 20. So in week 20, the maximum sales were 40,000. In week 20, the maximum sales were 40,000. Okay, please go right now on your paper. Do you have example 20 down there? Yes or no? You do not. Okay. So look at this problem here. And this is going to be, it's going to be a check for understanding, but we're going to do it really quick. Okay, are you ready? With your partner, make a very simple graph. When I say go, you have 10 seconds to graph this on a very simple graph somewhere on your paper. Ready, get set, go. Do it on paper somewhere, go. Now check with your partner. Do you have the exact same graph? So I would go to the left 2, and I go down 1. And then it tells me there's a hidden 1 over 1. I'm going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay, this is my graph. Can I have a raise of hands if you understand how to graph that from yesterday? Okay, you ready? Here's what I want you to do. This is tough stuff. Ready? We're going to take this like a checkpoint quiz, all right? Jose's going to walk around and check your answer. There's no penalty if you get it wrong, but I do want you to try. If I told you to take this, and I want a brand new equation, but your equation is going to take this, and instead of going up, this is going to stay. It's like I put a nail right there, and I want you to take it from and going up, and you're going to flip it and then go it down. So we say it reflects across the x-axis. What would change about this? With your partner, 30 seconds, go. So I'll tell you, it looks like this. Boom, 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 like there, and like that. Absolutely zero penalty for a wrong answer. Darian, what do you think it is?
Negative 1 over 1.
Okay. That's final answer?
You want me to finish?
Yeah.
Okay. Then x plus 2 minus 1. Minus 1.
Just like this, right? But you know, I gotta make sure here. Okay, guys, I want you to graph this and see if you get what we have here as my dotted. Take time right now and graph this. So I go to the left 2 and down 1, and then down 1 over 1, down 1 over. Do you agree with Darian's answer? Yes? No? That is correct. Nice job, Darian. Okay, here we go. Next one. This is going to be, for this part, is going to be on paper. This part is going to be verbalized. We're going to take a practice quiz right now. These are questions you can see on a quiz. So we have domain and we have range. Okay, are you ready? If you graphed this, what number is inside of the absolute value that we can't see that's behind it? A 0. What number is in front? A 1. What number's in back? Okay, you ready? You have a little graph here. I don't care where you're doing this. You can be as sloppy as you want as long as you understand it. I want you to graph this, and I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Go. I don't care where you do it. You can do it in the margins. Okay, you ready? Now here's the next part of your checkpoint quiz practice problem. What's the domain and range of what you just graphed? Go. What is the domain and range? On paper. Check with your partner right now, please. So don't go left or right. Don't go up. We're just going to go right here. The slope is 1 over 1. 1 over 1. 1 over 1. Opposite way. 1 over 1. 1 over 1. 1 over 1. Okay, let's discuss it together in preparation for a checkpoint quiz. Domain is what are the limitations, if any, as I go to the left or right? Will this continue to go to the left as it goes up? Will this continue to go to the right as it goes up? You may not be used to this format, but at the 3-4 level, this is how we write it. The domain goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. The reason we put parentheses and not brackets, we don't write it in words anymore. We don't use like inequality symbols at this level, okay? So from negative infinity to positive infinity. And the reason we use parentheses instead of brackets is because we can't actually touch negative infinity. You don't actually touch positive infinity. It's not a number. It says it goes on, and there's no end to it. Now the range, how far does this go down? What y value does it go down to? Okay. Does it touch at 0? At y equals 0, is this touching? Okay, then we put a bracket. It touches. Is there any limit how high it goes? So it goes to positive infinity. You can't touch infinity. It is a parenthesis. Okay, here we go. Decide right now who is taller between you and your partner. Who is taller? Okay, are you ready? Whoever is taller gets to read the question, but whoever is shorter has to answer it. Ready? Taller person, read. Gerardo, you're answering for me. You're telling me the answer. What's the answer, Gerardo?
I have to write it down.
You just tell me. Just verbalize. What's the difference between shifting something to the right 3 or to the left 3?
Nothing.
Okay.
The domain and range stay the same.
They do, but you're going more detailed than I need to go. How do you write down an equation that shifts to the right 3?
So 3 units.
What goes inside if I want to go right 3?
Negative 3.
Got it. So that's right. And what do I write down if I want to go left 3?
Positive.
That's it. Nothing more to that. So if I go to the right, remember as Hunter said yesterday, if I go to the right, it's lying to us. And if I go to the left, we put a plus 3. As simple as that. Nothing more. All right. Here we go. Our last problem. So whoever this time is shorter gets to read it out loud to your partner. Ready? Begin. You have 1 minute to get the answer, partner. Go. Both of you work together. Go, go, go. 1 minute to get the answer. I would graph the first one. Jose, can you come here, please? one person? Do you have this as an answer? Yeah, one group does. Anybody else? Who would like to go over it quick? Anybody? Okay, let's do it together. Okay, so I personally like to look at what does our basic function look like. So this is the basic parent function. It looks like this. So there's our basic function, right? It's the parent function of the absolute value. That's why I should use an ID. Okay, so please listen. We're going to take this and we're going to shift it 4 units to the left. So I'm going to go to the left 4, and then I'm going to go 6 units upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's right here. Left 4, up 6. And then it says we're going to reflect across the x-axis. So instead of going up, we're going to go down. Now the question is identify the coordinates of the vertex. So I went left 4 and up 6. Here's your vertex. Okay?